Guys, before we get into Loaded Lux versus New Jersey Twerk, I just want to let you guys know I am a battle rapper and I am certified.
I've seen the guys that they've been posting up in the little clips. None of the people I've seen so far is fucking with Mr. Biscuit. None of them. None of them.
Respectfully. Respect. I was putting him to sleep in the first Crucible. I was putting him to sleep. I'm 5-0 on URL. You know what I'm saying? But put a little bit of respect on it. Guys, we have the fall merch out. The fall colors on the hat. We even got your little coffee mug. Look, I got some mud in there right now. Get you a coffee mug, get you a little bit of merch. Welcome to Mr. Biscuit Speaks. Around here, we dig into music and entertainment, not just to hear it, but to uncover the insights hiding underneath it. So when you drop a comment, it's not just feeding the algorithm. It's building the conversation around the art itself. So preemptively like, share, most importantly, add your perspective. That's how we're going to turn any of this into meaning. So regarding this battle, this is the point right here where it began to dawn on me that New Jersey Twerk might be in a little bit of trouble. This part right here.
My brother, healthy. Yo, listen. Healthy, everything healthy. This good. This is good. It's different. Oh, it's different. Oh, you got the healthy. Oh, man. Is this good? Is this good? Hey, listen, man. You got everything right? We healthy, man. Oh, we healthy, baby. Grocery shopping.
So I mean, look, did I think it was funny? Of course I thought I was dying, right? But there was a little part of me that felt sad for Twerk. First of all, because I already knew that Charlie Clips already made this move with Twerk. And Charlie Clips, there's nobody funnier in battle rap than Charlie Clips. You're not going to out Charlie Clips.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack.
Right? And so I'm like, yo, I hope that Twerk doesn't waste all his energy on a Lux impersonation. I hope that's not how he's coming into this with his mindset. But second of all, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure that Loaded Lux is the one you want to take for a joke? Right? I think it might have been Jay Black. I forget the exact blogger who said it. I want to give him credit because it wasn't me. So many of these guys want to switch the style up when it's the biggest battle of their entire lives. And I'll never understand for the life of me why that happens. Like, imagine being a boxer and you win the title fight after title fight by throwing haymaker after haymaker, and then you get into the heavyweight championship of the world and you say, you know what, I think I want to test this jab. I think I want to work on, why? No, right? Lux is not somebody you want to take for a joke at all.
Funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
It all came back together because my interest was reignited by 15 minutes of fame. Salute 15 minutes of fame. Watch this.
Difficult thing about battling me is the flight. He gonna pay for saying that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He gonna pay for. Mark my words. He gonna pay for saying that. He gonna pay for saying that.
So Lux said the hardest part of this battle was gonna be the flight. Twerk took that personal. Listen, let's get into it. Smack was talking about a sneaker, right? He was trying to introduce this URL sneaker that I guess is coming out. He didn't even get to it. I've never even seen it. Twerk just interrupted Smack. I said, hey, yo! The crowd loves that. I'm hype. I'm sitting at the edge of my seat. And I'm not trying to be contrarian just for the sake of disagreement, but Twerk got busy. He wrote 12 bars about his arrest, the trip to London. I even told the judge I got loaded like Denzel in Flight, right? I even told the judge I got loaded, right? He's talking about Denzel. See, as a lyricist, I really don't care how long the crowd takes to catch up, right? Twerk was getting to work in the first period. He told me everything was healthy and then died like Dr. Sebi. That was insane. Twerk, relax. Dr. Sebi was great. Tossed him over the bridge like a nasal strip. I mean, he was going off. Here's the thing with Twerk, and I think it was Angry Fan that mentioned it. Shout out to Caps. There's better Twerk that you can find just randomly online, right? Random battles. And the first thing that occurred to me is that he's right. He's not lying. As big a fan as I am of Twerk, I've been saying for the longest that his best days have been behind him since Dougie.
Snap at any moment, I'm balling. I get highlights off, then locked in, or a non-mic spark, I'm face shot. I pop eyes, why I order madness. Let's go! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go!
I mean, he keeps going. He's putting on a clinic, I think, in the first, in my opinion. Keeping stepping, put a loaded up on a flatbed like a repossession. He said repossession like 6 times, and it was all fire. It didn't land, though. And look, MC means move the crowd. I get it. But what do you do as a fan when the lines hit harder than the crowd responds? Is that Twerk's fault? Like, he started to stumble at the end of the first round. The Loaded Lux impression was awkward for several reasons. First, it was low-key an entire Broadway stage production, like including a tuxedo jacket, a New Jersey Twerk stuntman. Like, I know I'm the only battle rap fan who isn't a fan of WWF. But when it takes that much for the setup, I want the bars accompanying that to be nothing less than nuclear. The second thing that makes it awkward is that you're getting crowd reaction from imitating the style of your opponent. It's almost like a backhanded compliment. Like, sometimes in battle rap, you want to impersonate your opponent. The crowd reaction is because you're doing a great impression. So it's a salute to your talent. But sometimes the crowd is reacting because they actually like the style you're doing, that your op made up. So stop doing that. Listen, for every 10 seconds that passed without a haymaker during this segment, I got more and more pissed off. And there were several. It reminded us how awkward and extra the entire setup was. What made me the maddest is that you didn't even need the prop guy. Like, he didn't say anything. He just stood there, which means you could have just pretended Lux was you. Lux round 1. So Lux opens up talking about Twerk stealing, which is crazy because Twerk during his Lux impression was already talking about stealing. Twerk actually predicted that Lux would take that angle. He just delivered it poorly, right? He could have neutralized that opening if he didn't do the whole prop setup thing. I digress. Lux starts roasting Twerk, right? Just roasting, how high style. Guys, this had me dying. He's talking about the shape of Twerk's head. I think he calls him, he says he looks like a thumb with a face drawn on it. He says he looks like a Ninja Turtle, the one with the red bandana. Anyway, look, Lux is he's tweaking. He's just going off. He's completely roasting Twerk. And see, listen, these legends can really just shoot the breeze, bro. Right? It's almost like the more extra energy you extend, the more you just prove their greatness. The more you have to kind of twist and contort who you are to meet the moment, they can just deflate your energy with comedy. Mook did the same thing to Hitman Holla. You remember this?
Watched you argue, trying to convince somebody that's not a celebrity you a celebrity.
So after that, Lux starts glitching. And what I mean by glitching, you guys seen somebody glitch before. It was always, it's not like setup, punchline, setup, punchline. It's just when they start kind of leaving Earth, right? They start doing this, they start just showing you that there's levels to the creative genius. It's not necessarily directed even at the opponent. One time I was at Overflow Battle League. I was like, it's something like a thistle crown made out of twigs, stick around, simmer down, project unclean, brick of brown, God soldier, child with a magazine, kid around, Halloween, sorry I'm out of dreams, rent a clown, permission to make a sound, bite you with a bit of sound. So if you're going off, right? And there's like this vibrato that starts raising the people, and it gets to where the crowd is so loud, you have to stop and then kind of go back a couple bars. That's glitching. Loaded Lux is known for that. Daylight is known for that, right? You can get into these pockets where you're not even talking to anybody. You're just kind of leaving. You're just elevating. You're just starting to float off the stage. That's what I mean by Loaded Lux starts glitching. It's hard to describe without sounding biased. It's essentially when the attack isn't necessarily direct, but you're still cooking. You guys have seen this before. So Lux said something like, "Your name Twerk. I expected you to show your ass. But when you started backing it up, I had to spank him." Yeah. It was cold. So Twerk, round 2. Immediately, Twerk gets into another Loaded Lux impression with the complicated poetic speed rap. You know, he's clearly trying to impersonate Lux. So I understand when people are saying that at this point, everybody is kind of worried that all we're going to hear is either Loaded Lux or a Loaded Lux impression. It's been 2 rounds at this point. You know, he talked about Loaded Lux choking in the Calico battle, which happened 15,000 years ago. I was visibly heated until he said this bar. He said this crazy line. He said, "What's wrong? You needed a cough drop like official punches?" Bro, that was fire. That was fire because official punched the caffeine out of coffee. Coffee was decaf after that. Listen, even in round 2, I do not understand the lack of love that Twerk was getting from the London crowd, right? Twerk said something like, "I'll stomp until I kill that guy. We can make it a horror movie. I'll stomp till my heels have eyes." Bro, it got reaction, but the crowd seemed biased in favor of Lux, and it got me a little upset because Twerk was cooking. He was getting slept on throughout this battle, which makes it that much harder to judge. If any of you have seen this, go back and rewatch it. Tell me I'm lying. Twerk seemed kind of irritated by the fact that was happening. And something about his performance wasn't really there either. I mean, this is one of those things about going last, right? You're battling at 5 o'clock in the morning. Everybody is bar drunk. They seen A-Ward and Tay-Rock, and it's just difficult. At that point, some people are just there to see who they came to see. What was something else that he said? I think one of the craziest lines, everything from his collar get popped up like Elvis Presley. No response, bro. I genuinely don't get it. I think the crowd was sleeping on Twerk really, really bad, which makes it, that makes it difficult. Fam, Lux said something like, "I'm nothing human." This is round 2, Lux round 2. Lux said, "I'm nothing human. That's why they alienate me." Something like that. The crowd didn't respond to it, but it wasn't written to be responded to like that. Listen closely, because this is one of the differences between goodness and greatness in battle rap. The crowd didn't respond, but it wasn't written for their reaction, right? Lux continues rapping until you stop him. Twerk raps almost like he expects the crowd to respond, like his haymakers have a crowd response break, and that hurts you when they don't respond the way you think they will. You know what I'm saying? I think the crowd was unfair in London, but that did hurt him. So Lux has dope lines that he doesn't expect a response from. So his poetry is rich. At one point he said, "Twerk, you ain't even have to take it there. I brung it to you." Like those things. It's just, it's chill. It's just beautiful, rich, layered, complex rap, right? He came to rap. He said something like, "We know how many checks you done blew. It's been verified." So he talking about everything we hear on X about Twerk no-showing battles and keeping the money. So it's verified on X that Twerk blew checks that he didn't work for, but on X, having a blue check means you're verified. Bro, if we don't catch it with the left brain, the right brain does. That's the reason when Loaded is rapping, you'll just start to hear a low simmer in the audience, right? And it'll start to boil over. Anyway, Twerk's round 3. Twerk starts with "I shook his pride," right? You know what happens when he says "I shook his pride."
I shook his pride! Like Twerk coming. Nigga looked alive. He died with his eyes wide open. The nigga looked alive.
But there wasn't a good line attached to it. Like, I think he said something like, "Take a load off," or something, referring to Loaded, right? Take a load off. It didn't go where he wanted it to go. Of course he punched. Twerk is always punching, but it didn't land right. There was a lot of last-minute prep on Twerk's part, and you could definitely tell. I don't want to say I think it's crazy impressive to write bars for Lux on the way to London. A lot of people say he shouldn't have done that, and that's incorrect. What's in reality, he shouldn't have done that and been shaky with the performance. If you're going to do that, deliver with that. But he didn't choke. Like, if I had the ability to write that fast, that's all I would rap about. Like, imagine having an entire round written from the perspective of being in the airport. Like, not only is that fire, it disrespects the op. It's like you saying you have higher priorities. I don't know. I think that could have worked in his favor if he would have done it better. Listen, same problem with this round. I really don't understand why the London crowd was dead quiet during some of these lines from Twerk. Listen, same problem with the London crowd. I don't understand why they are dead quiet during some of these lines from Twerk. He said, throw him in a bush, baked beans, swing high, swing low, like when a slave sings. I was dead. And the London crowd was crickets, right? I mean, some of them were responding, but they should have. There are situations and circumstances where I think Twerk understood these lines should be tearing the roof off of this thing. And I think that they were biased in a negative way. It's actually, it became criminal. The London crowd should be underneath the federal penitentiary for how they treated Twerk in the third. I really hated it. I'm the type, if the crowd didn't catch my opponent's bars, I'm like, yo, wake up. That was crazy, right? But, bro, Twerk's third was ridiculous. If they were in New York, they would have tore the roof off of it with some of the lines Twerk had to say in the third. So Lux's third starts off slow, but then he picked up. There's just something about the way these Harlem guys talk, fam. He's talking to Smack and saying little underhanded jabs like, no disrespect, but my price go up. No disrespect, but my price going up, right? There was a part that had me dying. He said, the most gangster thing you ever did was beat up Norms. No, I couldn't, wait a second. I couldn't breathe, bro. Lux said, you look like you used to go to school smelling like whatever your mother cooked last night. What's crazy is like, it's insane for Lux to beat Twerk just roasting him. Like the most of this was kind of just roasting him. Roasting and glitching. He would roast and he would glitch, and he would roast and he would glitch. So yeah, I mean, I would say, maybe that third is preference. You remember when it was Goods versus Roan, where Goods said, I don't care about this battle. Sounds stupid, but true. I don't care about this battle so much, I'm rooting for you. It was that kind of energy from Lux in the third, which was hard. But then Loaded Lux starts glitching again. You know what I mean by that? Because I showed you. Somebody in the crowd yells, leave him alone. And Lux says, no, for what? Listen, fam, my final assessment is that those who say that New Jersey Twerk got 30'd are getting that from the crowd. And I respect that perspective because I do believe MC means move the crowd. But when this battle drops, when it drops for the masses in the year 2048, or when it drops on the app next fall, you will see that the crowd slept on about 20 bars from Twerk that were truly insane lines. Truly insane. And Twerk's lines are easier to catch than Lux. I mean, Lux is deep. So on first watch, I'm giving it to Lux as well, probably the first and the second, but Twerk was criminally slept on and he was not done filthy in this battle. I don't respect that perspective. Listen, family, if you appreciate this content, please consider supporting the channel. You will find links to Cash App, PayPal, and more in the description. Every bit helps keep the cascade of insights flowing. I appreciate you watching, family. Next time.